I wanted to thank everybody here tonight. Those of you who don't know me, I was a project manager at over for 15 years. Had a real nice office up on the second floor in the center. There's this kid by the name of Jerry over it sitting there now. Keep an eye out for him, see if he's going to work out. So anyway, how do you prepare for something like tonight? When you're a comedic athlete like myself, you do something like I've been doing hills. No, not climbing mountains. I call it high intensity laughter. That's where I tell my wife jokes for a minute, and then I take her pulse. So I retired right in the middle of COVID. Oh my gosh, what a time. I got bad lungs. We all try to muddle through in the middle, doing the best we can. You know what I mean? Doing the right thing. But like any issue, you kind of get people on the edge on both ends. So I'm going to bring out a couple of the people that we ran into during that time. Boy, these lights are like a movie. Wow. Yes. I got my mask on. I don't know what your problem is. Then, oh my God! Don't you know in the pandemic? Haven't you listened to Dr. Fauci? You're all gonna die! So we don't listen to people, do we? So COVID, boredom and alcohol are two of the great engines of ingenuity in the world. How else would we have the pro bull riding circuit without alcohol and boredom, I ask you. So a couple of the people were sitting at home, didn't have anything to do, and some guy sitting there in the living room going, hey, you know what? If we take this iPad and attach it to an exercise bike, we can sell millions of them. The one I really like was something called the mirror. There's a mirror on the wall, and you can see your personal trainer, and they can see you. But kind of like the Thigh Master and some of our other great exercise equipment, after a period of time, they don't get used. So I can just imagine somebody walking up to the mirror after a year or so, they turn the mirror on, and there's a 500-pound guy going, where have you been? I've been here alone. So, retired, people say that, it's a big waste of time, television. But, you're going to end up wasting some time with it. And in this day and age, there's a whole lot of nothing. I mean, we're doing 60-year-old game shows. We're doing game shows that don't even make any sense. Tonight on ABC television, it's gender fluidity galore on What Pronoun Am I? So, we were on the verge of television greatness a number of years ago. We were going to have documentaries. We were going to have learning. We were going to have science. And you know what we traded it for? Reality television. Oh, you better get that gator over here, you better throw a rope in again. Get a shotgun, we need to shoot it. If we don't shoot that gator, we don't get enough gators, we is going to go hungry this winter. So, you know what reality TV is late on the weekend? After 9 o'clock at night? UFOs and aliens. And who explains this to us? Ancient alien theorists. Where the heck was that on career day when I was in high school? You know, I could have been a cow mutilation inspector, autopsy. I could have been an alien autopsy leader. You know, all the, you know, my life was just, you know, whatever. And when you have aliens, what else do you have? Sasquatch, Bigfoot. And when can you go hunting for them? At 9 o'clock at night in the winter, up on a hill, wearing a parka, water dripping off your nose, you got a baseball bat, you're beating on the tree, you're yelling, "Arr! I think I heard a splash up there." And you're sitting at home with your wife. "Yo, honey, I don't think I heard that splash on there." So anyway, just a big, big waste of time. But we all do it. And you know where you got aliens? Where you got Bigfoot? You tie everything together, the Templar Knights. That's right. So anyway, so me and my wife, we like to travel quite a bit, and I got a little story here. So a few years ago, we went up to the national park there in Wyoming. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, yeah. That's what you do at old age. So anyway, we go up there, and up in Montana, my wife's had an aunt and uncle. And my wife's uncle was named Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill, 96 years old, Pearl Harbor survivor, trained special forces in World War II. Guy, one of the first helicopter pilots for LAPD. You look in the dictionary and the word badass is there, his picture is there. Well, guys like that don't sit around. They reinvent themselves. So up there for prairie dogs, there's quite a problem. They got holes in the ground and cattle ranches. The cows step in the hole, they break their leg. It costs a lot of money. So my wife's Uncle Bill had become a prairie dog sniper. This guy had a military-grade sniper rifle, could take out prairie dogs at 500 feet. He had 2 semi-automatic pistols. Boom, 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 pew, pew, left and right. Prairie dog carnage everywhere. Didn't think anything of it the day we leave. We're in the garage, and he wants to show my wife his prairie dog arsenal. So my wife looks through the scope, touches the trigger, doesn't think anything of it. 10 hours later, Salt Lake City Airport. TSA does a random checkup on her. Miss Porter, you seem to have gunpowder residue. Now my wife just sits there very calmly and goes, "Really? Imagine that. Really? Are you sure?" Now my wife doesn't raise her hand and go, "Excuse me, I was with my uncle, the prairie dog rifle." So anyway, they said, "Oh man, sorry, it was a false test." And my wife goes, "Well, that's really good." Now, my incident with TSA on the other leg of the trip is a little more telling. So, too much information here, but you know, I'm a too much information guy anyway. When we get a little older, some guys have a little leakage problem. And we wear a pad to take care of that. Now, I normally never have any problem at the airport, but today I just had decided to wear my pad through the TSA line. I walked through the line, and suddenly the TSA agent, is waving his wand around my crotch repeatedly. I look behind me, I look at the screen, and there is a white rectangle over my crotch. At that moment, I knew I was a suspected T-pad bomber terrorist. The guy keeps warning. Now, I wasn't as smart as my wife, and at that moment I said, "Sir, excuse me, I can solve your problem. I can reach in my pants, I can pull out the P-pad, you can examine it." Now, we can't. At that moment, the TSA agent said, You know, he's like, no, sir, we can't do that. Because obviously you can't be brandishing a pad of mass destruction in an airport. He continues to warn me, but then he did what any good TSA employee would do. He called his supervisor. And let me guess you, I'll tell you something here. The guy wasn't a supervisor for no good reason. He immediately noticed that I still had a belt in my pants. So the first thing he asked was, sir, will you take off your belt? And then he started to even more vigorously frisk me. At that moment, my pants started to fall off. He then allowed me to put one hand behind my back, one hand above my head. I'm standing there helplessly as he continues to frisk me. At that moment, I turn around to the one person I think I can depend on in my life, my anchor, my love, my wife, who has turned her back on me and is cordialing and laughing. The next instant, the guy, for good reason, he notified me, was going to perform a move called the crotch grapple. After several crotch grapples, he determined that I was no longer a national security risk. I continued to walk on without my shoes, felt my pants were about to fall off. I didn't know if I needed a cigarette or a cuddle, but as God is my witness, I will never wear a pad through TSA again. Now that's one story. So, ladies and gentlemen, recently we lost, this is my last thing here. Give it up here, come on. This is my last little pack. Recently we lost a real genius of comedy. Some of you younger kids may not know it. There was a guy who went by the screen name of Gallagher. Very funny guy. And I've had this little routine here before he actually passed away, but this is in his style. So you know, we carry these phones around, these cell phones, and I tell my wife they have the power of the universe and cat pictures. The cat pictures are very important. But, you know, have you ever wanted to watch a viral video and you can't find the damned app? Suppose you've seen a rare bird and you want to identify it, but you know what? You can't find the damned app. You want to order chicken nuggets, and guess what? You can't find the damned app. Well, tonight, in the greatest moment in human history since the invention of the Snuggie and the Ron Popeil rotisserie oven, I introduce to you, as developed by the Northwest South Dakota Institute of Animal Husbandry and Egyptian Studies, the damned app. Every app in the world combined into one app. No more searching, looking, hunting. Every app included, all in one. The damned app includes, but is not limited to. That's great contract language there, folks. Includes, but is not limited to, the ability to buy a cheeseburger, a car, or even a house. Use it to find a new job. Use it to find a spouse. It's the only damn app you'll need. It's the only damn app you're looking for. It's the damn app. Thank you guys, and have a good night.
Thank you, sir. All right. I'd like to invite up Aaron and David. Aaron and David.